Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to part number 2 of What If I Was England Manager. Part number 1 ended in absolute disaster as we got knocked out in the quarterfinals of the World Cup by Croatia. We had a mixed bag in that tournament. We hammered a couple of teams, but when it was time to step up, we performed well against Spain, but we just didn't get the result. And in the game against Croatia, we went 1-0 up in extra time and still lost the game 2-1. Before we get into today's video, I would like to ask if you can please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below. I set an aim when I started this channel back at the end of January for 60 subscribers, by the end of the year. At the moment, we're on 45, we're 15 away. I'm hoping to get to 60, hopefully really by the end of July. So please, like I say, hit that subscribe button and let's get into today's video. So this is our 2023 look: Serbia, Andorra, Estonia, Turkey, Serbia, Slovakia, Andorra, Estonia, Slovakia and Turkey in the Group J of the European Championship qualifiers. Then we'll move on to 2024 when it will be the European Championships. Looking at the group, I don't think we'll have too much bother. If we just go in, we're in Group J, aren't we? So, yep. So, realistically, the toughest games are probably going to be Serbia and Turkey, maybe. Andorra should be 6 points. We should be able to get 6 points off Estonia. We've got, obviously, then the games Serbia, Slovakia and Turkey. They might be a bit more of a challenge. But I suppose even if we don't take full points, as long as they take points off each other, it doesn't really matter. So, we are currently on the 15th of March. Our next game is on the 25th of March. That is the game against Serbia. We'll bring you that one, the first European Championship qualifying game. We won't bring you the game against Andorra or the game against Estonia. Probably bring you the game against Turkey, because that may be a tougher game. And we'll see where we are after the first 4 games as to what we decide to show you out the last 6 before we head into, hopefully, the European Championships. The squad for the opening 2 matches of the qualifying stages: the goalkeepers are Pickford, Henderson and Ramsdale. Defenders are Reece James, Livramento, Stones, Tomori, Burns, Colwill, Chilwell, Alexander-Arnold. The midfielders: Henderson, Rice, Bellingham, Sancho, Foden, Elliott, Grealish, Rashford and Curtis Jones. And the strikers are Harry Kane, Tammy Abraham and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. If you just look at what they've done in their respective seasons so far, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has got 18 goals, Tammy Abraham has got 16, so both them warranting their place in the lineup. Harvey Elliott has played 7 games, 3 goals, 1 assist in those 7 games, 7.44 his average. He comes in, replaces Raheem Sterling in this squad. I don't think we need him for these 2 games, so it's time to give Harvey Elliott what will probably be his debut caps. We'll just quickly look. There's 4 people with no caps. That is Harvey Elliott, Finley Burns, Levi Colwill and Tino Livramento, all youngsters, 19, 19, 20 and 20. So they'll probably get some game time in these next 2 games. And hopefully we can start this European Championship off with a bang and get 6 points on the board. So the lineup for the first game away in Serbia, we'll probably have a much changed lineup for the second game. It is Ramsdale in goal, Chilwell, Rice, Tomori and James. Henderson sat in front of them, Bellingham and Foden in the centre of midfield, Rashford one side, Sancho the other, Kane up top. Let's get into it. Opening game of the European Championship qualifying. That ball is cleared upfield. Dusan Tadic is going to go for it, but Reece James has got time to bring it down. Give it to Tomori. Upfield to Foden now. Into Kane with his back to goal. Back into Foden. Makes a run. Into Sancho, who's been behind the defence. Dinks over the goalkeeper and Ristic with a great goal line clearance. Rashford now. And his ball towards Sancho is cut out by Mitrovic. And a great first chance. I thought we were going to open the score in there as Chilwell now looks for Henderson. Chilwell into Foden, who's got time to take it down. Shoot. Hit the post. Sancho puts it in. It's going to count. It's 1-0. 5 minutes into the game. And, I mean, I think, to be fair, Foden should have scored on his own. Never mind. That ball come back out to Sancho. Henderson with the ball back to Chilwell. Great ball in. Foden took it down. I think the shot took a deflection, hit the post, and Sancho had the simple job of tapping in from about 2 yards. It's 1-0, 5 minutes in. James can head that away now. Sancho can bring it forward. Running at the defence. Still running, gives it to Kane. Kane now goes out to the left-hand side and Rashford looks that ball over the top. Kane going to get there first. He doesn't. Foden taps it into an empty net. It's 2 simple tap-ins for us. That was poor from Rakovic in the Serbia goal. And it is 2-0. Sancho laid it into Kane here. He went out wide for Rashford. Rashford looked quickly for that ball back into Kane. The goalkeeper came and it was a bit of a mix-up and Foden just got there ahead of the defender and the goalkeeper and just poked it in from around the penalty spot. 2-0, and that is a great start to our European Championship campaign here. And this, I'd like to think should be a game now that we walk away with. That ball goes into Foden, in behind the defence, over the goalkeeper, 3-0, 17 minutes gone, and Foden gets his second, and that was expertly done there. Really well worked, carved open the Serbia defence. Chilwell into Rashford. This time he gets the assist, because that was another great ball from Marcus Rashford, and Foden just dinks it over the goalkeeper, running on from that centre midfield role. 3-0. 3 quick goals here at the start of this game as Reece James gets up there, and the header by Tomori is back to Ramsdale. And again we can build from the back as Rice goes to Chilwell now, to Bellingham with a bit of space, gives it to Rashford. He looks to come infield, gives it back to Bellingham though, and out to Rashford, infield to Kane now. Kane with a switch ball out to the right hand side, and Sancho takes it down, drives towards the byline, back onto his left foot, gets across him, Rashford with a tap in, and after one assist and one great ball for a goal from Rashford, he gets his name on the score sheet himself. 4-0, 23 minutes gone. That was really well worked. Kane with that little switch ball out to the right hand side, and Sancho, he took it down, drove towards the byline, managed to get the cross away, and Rashford was at the far post to just side foot it in, and it's 4-0, and they've been 4 very simple goals. And it's been a job well done here. 4 shots on target, 4 goals. As now Reece James with a short throw into Foden. James gets it back. Infield to Henderson now. Goes back to the centre-back Tomori. Into Foden with his back to goal. Turns around the corner to Rashford, who just slots it home. What a nice finish that was from Marcus Rashford. It's 5-0. There's 27 minutes gone. And what can you say about that? James into Henderson here. Gives it back to Tomori. Ball into Foden with his back to goal, turns it round the corner, and Rashford just sweeps it in first time from the edge of the box. 5-0. Marcus Rashford with an assist and 2 goals to his name. As a corner from Zikovic will come in. Sergo with a header against the bar, and Foden can clear it away. And that's the first real threat that Serbia has posed in this game. Second half is underway here as Chilwell now can run the ball out in the left full-back position. Back to Rashford. Right into Tomori. That's a poor touch there, but he was under no real pressure. Foden quickly into Kane. Kane now into Sancho, who's in behind the defence. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and he's missed. And that's another poor miss from Jadon Sancho. Not great at all from him today. And Chilwell now will look short into Bellingham. There's highlight after highlight after highlight here. Rice. He's a ball playing centre back here. Kane, Foden, Rashford. Goes back to Henderson now. Into Rashford yet again. Turns around the corner for Sancho. Here's a chance. This time he scores. Jadon Sancho, 6-0 on the score sheet. And we are on absolute fire here today. I was not expecting to turn a performance like this in today. And with it, we're going to make the first substitution of the game as well, I think. Harry Kane, who is averaging a 7.1 but hasn't really done anything. Tammy Abraham is going to come on for him. And he will get 40 minutes or so to hopefully get his name on the score sheet. Sancho now goes infield to Tomori. Back to Sancho. Looks that ball over the top. And Reece James, who's very, very far forward, doesn't really chase it there. And he goes back to the goalkeeper, who looks long. Flick on header, but Chilwell can head it away. Now Sipic. Back to the goalkeeper, Rakovic. He looks long again, and the header is won by Henderson. Rashford into Abraham. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Abraham been on the pitch all of about 90 seconds. Gets off the mark. 7-0. Tammy Abraham. And this is an absolute demolition job here. Like I said, I expected this to be a bit more of a challenging game, especially away from home. And we have absolutely bossed this game. Time to make our second sub, I think, on the hour mark. And we're going to bring on Curtis Jones for Jude Bellingham. Bring him on in the central midfield. I was thinking about bringing him on for Rashford, but Rashford is on a hat-trick, and I'd like to see if he can get that before this game is done. As we get now into the 71st minute, there's going to be a highlight, but I'm going to make a substitution just before we get into it, and we're going to bring Levi Colwill on for. I'm going to bring him on for Jordan Henderson, and then move Declan Rice into that defensive midfield role, and Levi Colwill into the centre of defence. And hopefully now, I mean, it's going to make no difference as Sancho looks long and it's straight into the arms of the Serbian goalkeeper here. 19 minutes to go for some of these boys to make a name for themselves as Foden picks the ball up into Curtis Jones. He'll run forward out to the left side and gives it to Chilwell. There's a ball down the line, but Tadic will snuff that out. Jones back to Rice now, into Abraham with his back to goal. Turns it around the corner for Sancho, takes it down, shoots, and it's a save by Rakovic. And it remains at 7. And Sancho probably should have a hat-trick today, the way he's played. Really deserved more than his one goal as Abraham heads over at the far post. Thought he was going to be on the score sheet for his second there. No, actually Sancho's got 2. I tell a lie, I thought Sancho only got 1. This shows as Lazovic is in behind now. He'll get towards the byline. Tackle goes in, hold onto the ball, square ball, and Juric taps it in. Filip Juric gets one back for Serbia with 16 minutes to play. It's 7-1. It won't really matter. The ball over the top. Left fullback Rashford was actually marking him there. He went in for the challenge. It fell back to Lazovic. The square ball, and Juric taps in from 6 yards. It's 7-1. Disappointed that we can't maintain that clean sheet there as we go into the final 10 minutes of the game. Rashford is averaging a 10, Sancho a 9.4, Foden a 9.4 as well. Tammy Abraham off the bench is averaging 7.6 as Grujic into Sergej. Jovic now, he fires it past the goalkeeper. It's 7-2, and we have really switched off here since these substitutions. Not good at all. And hopefully we don't concede a third, because this will look a lot closer than it really is as Sancho puts that ball in. Abraham with a free header straight at the goalkeeper. Probably should do better. He was free. They probably could have took it down as that ball is fired up now to Juric. Into Ristic. Ball down the line, but Tomori can cut that out. He'll give it into Sancho. Infield to Foden now. Right. Abraham with his back to goal again. Sancho. James. Goes all the way back to the centre-back Tomori. James receives it back into Sancho. Foden. Back to Sancho. Can he beat his man? He does beat his man. He'll drive towards the byline now. On his right foot. Gets the cross in. Rashford arriving at the far post. Heads it over. Looking for his hat-trick. No such luck. Great run from deep from Marcus Rashford, heads it over, but we're going to run out 7-2 victors as we switched off there in the last 15 minutes. Goals from Juric and Jovic getting goals back for Serbia, but 7 goals, 2 for Rashford, 2 for Sancho, 1 for Abraham, 2 for Phil Foden as well. And a 7-2 victory in our opening game of this European Championship qualifier. So we won't show you this game against Andorra, especially as we put 7 past Serbia, but the side is like this. There has been 10 changes. Henderson is in goal. It's Colwill, Stones, Burns and Livramento across the back. Declan Rice is the only player that keeps his spot. He moves into that defensive midfield role though. Jones and Grealish start in the centre midfield. Elliott on the right. We've played Calvert-Lewin, who can play on the left-hand side. He's going to play on the left-hand side. Abraham's going to play up top. And let's get into this game. This is the reason why I didn't show you the game, because we would have been here all day. 6 goals for Tammy Abraham, 3 for Harvey Elliott, 1 for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, that's 10, 3 for Grealish is 13, and then goal for Kane and a goal for Foden to make 15, assist for Calvert-Lewin, Colwill, Rice, Grealish. I mean, if you just look, Abraham averaged a 10, Calvert-Lewin averaged a 10, Elliott averaged a 10, Grealish averaged a 10, Colwill averaged a 9.8, Foden off the bench averaged an 8.2, just phenomenal stuff. 9.5 XG, 15 goals scored, easy done at Wembley. And we move on to the next set of games. So today we take on Turkey away from home. They are second in the group. We beat Estonia last time out 5-0. Harry Kane getting 2, Jadon Sancho getting a hat-trick, a couple of goals, 3 goals in the first 20 minutes, 3 in 10 minutes. Harry Kane, Sancho and Sancho, and then Kane and Sancho 2 in 5 minutes right at the end of the game to seal it. Today we play Turkey. They are second in the group. The team is Ramsdale, Chilwell, Chalobah, Tomori, James, Rice in front of them, Bellingham and Foden in midfield, Sancho one side, Sterling the other, Kane up front. And if we win this one, I feel like qualification is pretty much in the bag. It's a corner kick. Foden will take it towards the far post. Set it down and it's touched in by Sancho. And it is 1-0. Half an hour on the clock. The ball went into the far post. I think it was Bellingham that got the header back across goal. And Sancho just had the simple job of tapping in at the near post. Foden's ball in. Bellingham with the header, yeah, I'm not sure whether that would have found its way in, but Sancho made sure of it. 32 minutes on the clock, and Bellingham setting up Sancho to make it 1-0, and that is, after what was a drab first half an hour, that is exactly what we needed. Turkey have provided nothing here in this home tie for them, and at half-time it is 1-0. And it's 2-0, Raheem Sterling slots home from about 12 yards on the angle. Foden pulled the ball back for him. Sterling put the ball into the back of the net. Ball comes out here. It's collected by James into Foden. So much time and space for him here. And he just pulls it back into Sterling, who just sweeps home from the angle. 2-0 just after half time. And what a start to this second half it has been. Sedic into Under. Comes in field from the right hand side. Great tackle by Rice. Bergkamp back to Barat. Hakan Koglu and Chalobah knocks it back to Ramsdale. Saka now can bring it over halfway into Calvert-Lewin, who's beyond the defence, one-on-one, saved by the goalkeeper. He will pick it up for the rebound. Can he square it back? He does for Saka, and the shot is kept out by the goalkeeper. Excellent save there. I thought for all the world he wasn't going to be able to tip that around the post from the angle he was. He did, as that corner comes in, headed away. Saka back to Grealish. Saka receives it again, and there was an offside flag up, I presume, against Grealish coming back from taking that corner. It's been a pretty drab second half. The whole game really has been nothing to shout home about. It's Calvert-Lewin into Saka now. He goes back to Chilwell and he returns it back to Chalobah. Rice with space. Gives it to Grealish on the right side. Chests it down past his man and will run towards the byline. Can he get the crossing? Pulls it back for Foden. On his left foot. Goes all the way back to Rice. Into Bellingham. Foden. Lovely little one-touch passing and it's cleared away. A little bit too cute there on the edge of the Turkey box. As that ball is given to Tomori. Long ball into the channel for Grealish to chase. Keeps it in. Pulls it back. Calvert-Lewin headed away from him. Rice yet again. 35 yards from goal, gives it back to Reece James. Rice collects it again. Switch ball to Saka. And Bukayo Saka sweeps home. First time, 84 minutes on the clock. It is 3-0. And that was a lovely, lovely pass for Saka to get on the end of. Declan Rice picks up the ball here. Lays it back to Reece James. And Reece James' pass into Rice. And that ball, it's a beautifully weighted pass onto the right foot of Saka, who just slots it in, points to his bicep. 3-0 off the bench to get that third goal and just seal the game. I mean, Turkey have provided nothing in terms of chances, just the two chances, one on target, as Grealish can flick that on now, but Soyuncu can deal with it. Bergkamp looks for that ball up to Tomori, cuts it out, Bellingham into Calvert-Lewin, back to Rice, ball over the top, Foden's in behind, saved by the Turkey goalkeeper. Good chance to make it 4 there, not to be. There's a minute left, or just under, of stoppage time as Chalobah can bring it forward unchallenged, gives it to Rice, ball over the top, and that was, I'm not sure who he was looking for there, but that was a poor ball nonetheless. And like I said, we're in the last 25 seconds or so of this game. Shouldn't be a lot happening now as Calvert-Lewin turns it out to the left hand side and Saka, he can't keep it in. Saka looked very tired there, considering the fact he's been on the pitch all of about half an hour. Looked very tired, as we're just waiting now for the time to tick away. Saka with a great challenge. Bergkamp looks like ball at the top for Bozak, and I'm not sure if he was offside or the full-time whistle just blew, but a game that we have dominated. Only 3-0, probably could have been more than that the way we played, but the job is done. We've beaten second in the league, and it is 4 from 4, 12 points, and we're on our way to qualification to the European Championships. So we have beat Andorra 11-0 and Turkey drew 0-0 with Slovakia, which means that we've qualified. I was going to show you the qualifying game because I figured it would be this next game against Estonia. It's not the case. We have qualified 7 games, 7 wins, plus 50 goal difference, 21 points. We just beat Andorra 11-0. John Stones with 2, Harry Kane with 3, Jadon Sancho with 3, Jude Bellingham with 1, Phil Foden with 1, and Marcus Rashford with 1. 3 games left of this. We're just going to race through them now. We're not going to show any more of this footage. And we'll move onwards to 2024 and start preparing for the European Championships. So 10 games, 10 wins, 62 goals scored, 3 conceded, 59 goal difference, 30 points. Last couple of games finished like this. Estonia 4-0, Slovakia 2-0, Turkey 3-0, 2 for Rashford there. Single goals for Saka, Sancho, Kane and Rashford in that game. Bellingham and Kane there, and Rashford 2 and Foden 1 in the Turkey game. So very comfortable, just the 3 goals conceded. 2 of those were, all 3 were against Serbia actually. 2 were in one game, 1 was in the other. 2 double-figure victories, an 11 and a 15, a 9-0 in there as well against Slovakia. Job done. Harry Kane has now become the top England goal scorer, surpassing the record set by Rooney, I believe it was. He went up to 54 goals. That was in the game against Serbia. So since then he has really surpassed that with some ease. Now, next up, that means there is the European Championships, which is due to be drawn on the 10th of April. So we'll be back then, 10th of April, and we'll hold the draw. Because last time I tried to hold the draw for a competition, the sound didn't work. So this time we're going to hold the draw, and let's see who we get in the 2024 European Championships in Italy and Germany. You join us back in April for the European Championships group stage draw. We are one of the 6 teams that have been seeded first for the draw. So let's get into it. Let's open the draw up. Is this going to be one of those... No, this is a 4-team group. I thought it was going to be one of those 3-team group ones. So, let's go. Group A. First out of the hat is Germany. Group B, Croatia. Group C is Italy. Group D is Spain. Group E is Belgium. And we are in Group F. Let's see, in pot 2 there is Czech Republic, France, Portugal, Denmark, Greece and Ukraine. Realistically, you want to be missing France and Portugal out of these. First out the hat is Ukraine, so they go into Group A with Germany. Denmark are with Croatia. It's not looking good for what I just said. Portugal have gone in with Italy. That leaves Czech Republic, Greece and France left to play. France have gone in with Spain. That group looks horrendous there, Group D. Group E has Czech Republic and we are going to get Greece in Group F, and the third lot of seeds are Holland, Norway, Sweden, Hungary, Scotland and Wales. So we could get one of the teams from the British Isles in this. You really want to be avoiding Holland really out of the 6 teams that are in here. So first up out of the hat is Norway. They go in with Germany and Ukraine. Croatia have Denmark and Hungary. Italy, Portugal have Sweden. That group is looking tougher. Who is Group D going to get? If Holland go into Group D, that is a real group of death. They get Scotland, unfortunately for them. Wales going to Group E, which means that we get Holland in Group F. And then the final 6 teams are Austria, Finland, Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Romania and Switzerland. Serbia go first out of the hat into Group A. Group B sees Switzerland go in, Romania going to Group C. Group D is Austria, Finland going to Group E, and Bosnia and Herzegovina go into Group F. So the groups for the European Championships in 2024. Group A is Germany, Norway, Serbia and Ukraine. Group B, Croatia, Denmark, Hungary and Switzerland. Group C, Italy, Portugal, Romania and Sweden. That is going to be a pretty tough group to get out of. Group D is Austria, France, Scotland and Spain. You'd expect France and Spain to get out of there, but Austria could just put a cat amongst the pigeons. Group E is Belgium, Czech Republic, Finland and Wales. And Group F, Bosnia, Herzegovina, England, Greece and Holland. You'd expect us and the Netherlands to qualify out of this group, but it's going to be a tough one nonetheless. Hopefully we can pick up 6 points against them, come up against Holland and beat them and qualify as group winners this time. So, schedule looks... Well, we still haven't had the dates yet for the... Wait, probably because we're still in 2023. We haven't gone forward to 2024 yet. So we'll probably have the schedule for that come in the next few days, I assume. So, there we go. We play Holland in the first game of the group on the 14th of June. We then play Greece. Then we play Bosnia and Herzegovina in the last game. In that 9-day spell, hopefully, we can get off to a winning start against Holland. You'd like to think the other 2 games are going to be winnable, and then we can move on to the knockout stages and hopefully do a better job than what we did last time out. And with that, we're going to end today's episode there. We will be back later on tonight at 6:45 for the group stages of the European Championships and the knockout stages, hopefully, if we get there. Please join us 6:45. Leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you later tonight.